Hello everybody, my name is RagingRaptor and I welcome you to a new World of Tanks preview video. And today we'll have a look at the MTLS-1G14, a tier 3 special tank. Why is it special? Because as you can see it has two guns. And it is one of the oldest tanks as far as I remember in the game. I'm not sure how you are able to actually get said tank, but yeah, it is already in the game for quite some time. And now Wargaming decides to revamp its stats and yeah, completely change it up. And as you can see, or as you can read here, is that this might be a proof of concept. A proof of concept of, well, yeah, introducing the ST2. What is the ST2? As you can see here, basically a double-barreled ST1. And this might also be a tank which could be on tier 10. And yes, it is quite a special thing to see. Yeah, so well, let's have a look at the stats of said vehicle. And here we can see what also changed to the older model to this one, so we don't have to always go left and right with that one. But yeah, first of all, you will lose 20 hit points and you will go down to 230 hit points. The engine with 240 horsepower is still strong. 15.46 tons is also quite not heavy at all, and 15.51 HP to ton ratio is actually pretty darn great. The maximum speed gets buffed to 55 and minus 20 kilometers. That's actually pretty decent, especially with said power to weight ratio. The ultra burst speed is 40 degrees per second and turbo burst speed is 45.9 degrees per second. Excuse me, I still have a little bit of a problem with my throat. I'm sorry for that one. The terrain resistance is actually pretty darn decent with 1.0, 1.2 and 2.5, but the fuel range is abysmally bad. It's only 280 meters. It used to be 320, which is still rather meh, but 280 meters is pretty darn really not good. But yeah, let's move to the armor. This is how the visual model looks like. Let's go to the collision model, and I can see that frontally for a tier 3 tank, it actually has decent enough armor. If you angle it a little bit, it starts to go down. Let's see, now we're using 10 degrees of gun depression, and you can see 45, 39, up to 100 millimeters, depending on what kind of part it's hitting on this rounded surface. I want to have a quick look at other tier 3 tanks because I sincerely do not know the average penetration of those vehicles. Like, I have no clue. I know that the Pack 40 is as incredible strong, and I think cruiser marks are also really strong because of their pom-pom. What is it? It's a 49 millimeters of penetration. This tank has 51. So yeah, it has decent enough armor, enough protection against those PZ1Zs, which are really strong. I remember those ones. The Panzerkampfwagen 1 Ausführung C. Yes, it really... which one are you taking usually? This one? No. No, yeah. Oh, this is the Mauser. I think it's the Mauser. Yes, the Mauser is the machine gun, I think. Yeah. Against Panzerkampfwagen 1 Ausführung C, this tank actually has pretty darn decent armor. Sideways, not so much, and on the rear, not so much. But overall, the frontal armor is actually darn strong. So yeah, what is going to change now to the gun? Because at the moment, what I saw it has, or what we can see here, it has a 10-shot clip. And this 10-shot clip has 5 shells each on each gun. So it's already kind of working, I think, like a double-barreled gun. So yeah, right now you will just have this 15 seconds reload time before you can unload your clip in around half a second or so. It's actually darn strong, especially with this amount of damage. 40 damage times 10 is 400 damage. That's a lot of damage. But yeah, now they're going to change it, and you can see they're actually even changing in the gun stats at times 2, meaning that there are going to be 2 shots. So the alpha stays all the same, penetration stays the same, rate of fire goes down, and the DPM drops by around 500. That's actually pretty darn a lot, and it shows that Wargaming wants to balance this tank a little bit more correctly. You can see that you will have a longer reload time for a shorter reload time for the clip, 4.6 seconds, and you can unload your clip in 0.5 seconds, meaning that you will shoot dun dun. You will shoot first the left or the right gun, or vice versa. I don't know. You can see you have 2 rounds in said clip, and actually nice. The accuracy gets better, and the aim time gets better as well. So yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. I really still do not know how to get this tank. Let's have a look what the World of Tanks wiki has to tell us about that. That would be actually interesting to know. Okay, need to do this, and we need to change it up here to English, because right now it's German, and the German wiki is really, you can't use that at all. It's bad. It's really, really bad. Wait. It's a light tank. Okay, am I Locust? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, apparently it is not in the World of Tanks wiki. I'm actually a little bit now, I lost my string right now. I'm really, okay, that's actually interesting. I did not thought that this tank is not being in the wiki anymore. But what we can do right now is I'll try to start World of Tanks, and we can see if we can find it in the game. Obviously World of Tanks and not World of Warships. Let's have a look. Let's just start the game up. I'm sorry for this little problem right here. And yeah, apparently, yes, they're not wanting to introduce that. But it's interesting. So far, we already saw different stuff, like they tried to play around with wheeled vehicles, which we are probably going to see in World of Tanks. And they also are thinking now about those multi-turreted vehicle, which is also something they're thinking about. And something like, yeah, double-barreled vehicles like the ST2. There also are some other interesting projects like this tank, the German VT12, and those are 2 105mm guns as far as I remember correctly. But yes, I didn't really read anything into said vehicle, but it's also quite an interesting project. We're still waiting for the World of Tanks client to connect, so yeah, I think it should be still in the game files. I hope so, at least. Come on. Ooh, so long. Till World of Tanks already connected. It takes so long all the time. Oh no. Got away. I wasn't on that computer for a long time. Okay, let's take the Kanonjagdpanzer, which in added comparison, and can have a look if we can actually find this vehicle. The 3 light tanks. No. What? It's a tier 3 American premium light tank. No, apparently it's not in the live folder game files. Okay. That's actually pretty darn interesting, because I thought this tank was still part of it, and but apparently you were never able to get the MTLS-1G14. Like 2 years ago, people were actually able to play this tank. I saw it, and there are videos around. Okay, if you are searching on Google, you can see that there is actually, you can actually somehow get on said tank's file. But yeah, this tank is the only double-barreled gun in the game. If you run it by any chance, keep this in mind. The tank has been never made available for purchase on any server. A few have been handed out through a special circumstance, like reward for alpha and testers on America server. Okay. Wait a second. Is this the? That's the normal world of tanks. Okay. It was planned to be available on the Russian portal in a special gift box along with the BTSV, the Panzerkampfwagen 2 Ausführung J, and Su-85I. But it never happened. How more several were released to play it on RagingRaptor other than the press accounts and staff accounts? Okay. That's interesting. You cannot find this tank, apparently. You need to go via Google. That's that's interesting. That's really interesting. Like, yeah. Okay, guys, I'm sorry that I a little bit forgot my green or red string. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, let me know in the comment section below what you think about this tank, and I'll talk to you all later.